I roll a 7, so they find a residence to rob. Roll once on residence table. 16. I had to mute myself and scream. The random residence was a orphanage. Hey, what's up everybody, Skip Day Leg here. First of all, you should never skip leg day. Second of all, welcome to another DnDGreentext video. And third of all, check out the subreddit, there's a link in the description, or just go to r/SkyDieRay. And you know, you can basically submit anything that's not just stories, and if it's related to Dungeons and Dragons in any way, I would love to make videos and yeah, just go through the stuff that you guys post there. So yeah, again, if you have anything that's not stories, it's welcome there, and if it's related to D&D, of course. And yeah, with that being said, this intro has been long enough, so smash the like video, smash the and enjoy the subscribe button. Helbrook. What's the dumbest name / character you've gotten away with in a serious campaign? Had a character who was a noble knight who served the king and won countless wars with his intelligence and sheer willpower. Unfortunately, he did something in his past out of desperation, and it still haunts him to this day. All in all, Helbrook the horse was still a good character. I was so close to reading that without laughing until the end of the story. Jesus Christ, that's f***ed up. Okay, moving on. Any damage type is viable if you try. Don't use acid damage as your primary, they said. You'll be a worthless wizard, they said. Mr. Blue Sky.mp3, engage. Be a draconic bloodline sorcerer. Learn how to enchant stuff. Take Elemental Bane. Enchant the rogue's knife with it. Enchant the ranged fighter's sling with it. Enchant the 10 cures of lizard folk with it. Convince DM to allow you to make custom spells that replace other elemental damage types with poison and acid in exchange for bigger dice. Invest in rings of water breathing and airtight, waterproof helmets. Fight a green dragon. Fighter plinks it with arrows, its resistances are gone. Lizard folk hexes it and gives it a disadvantage on con saves. Watch as it tries to acid breath you, but melts its own throat from the inside out. Add insult to injury by using Stinking Cloud so it vomits and loses a turn. Let the rogue sneak attack while safe with his goldfish bowl helmet from the scent of 1,000 neckbeards. Victory. Fighting greater demon that flies. Hit it with that elemental bane again. Tell everyone else to whip out their wands and make Melf proud. Buckcake demon with acidic piece beams. Repeat firing line until melted by the power of your magical realm made manifest. Victory. Fight acid elemental. Use fireball. Every good wizard keeps fireball prepared. Well, at least the ending wasn't that bad. Jesus Christ, this story. Already posted the Master Thief story a couple of weeks ago. Oh, okay, I think this story is gonna be slightly related to another story from a previous episode. Bimmy. Cleric doing a COVID-themed campaign with my friends. We go into a cave looking for a possible cure. There are lots of mobs who seem to be extremely bothered by light. It took us a while to completely explore it, but we were doing just fine sneaking around. There was a big armored spider going around on the ceiling. The group sees a blue light coming from a corner of the cave. We start heading over to the blue light. Suddenly, the light is covered by a huge figure. Roll insight check. 17. It's a f***ing Cyclops. Me and the rest of the party try to sneak around it. The Paladin and the Great Silder Hallwinter, the Dragon Slayer, fail. We start running away as the Cyclops begins to chase us. Dead end. Idea. I cast light into the Cyclops' eye. Roll an 18. The DM describes how the giant begins to scream as its eye explodes in its head, and he is left blind and bleeding on the floor. He also describes how the armored spider swoops on him and kills him, followed by hundreds of big spiders. Time to shine. Okay guys, I'll save you again. I cast Daylight. DM doesn't even make me roll for it. He then describes how I create a gigantic ball of fire so bright that it blinds all of the spiders, causing them to go in a frenzy during which they begin to hack each other to pieces. We then escaped and killed an incubus disguised as a master thief. Cleric, best class. Well, that's one very creative way of casting Daylight. And I don't know if it's cool or weird that the DM allowed that to happen. Maybe both. I mean, as long as people have fun, you know. A simple question. New player to the group. Nice guy, but quiet. Plays a young but stoic barbarian. Heavily scarred and muscular. Helps the party kill things, but never says too much. Cleric decides to pry. Barbarian explains that his tribe would gather together all the infants and raise them separately from the rest of the tribe under brutal conditions within a deep silver mine. When the child had their 10th birthday, their parents would be given the choice to claim them and raise them, or to effectively abandon them. He had been very sickly as a young child, but worked and trained hard in hopes that his parents would claim him when he turned 10. Despite all his efforts, he remained thin and weak, and his 10th birthday came and went without his parents claiming him. He was forced to join the other rejected children, where their role was raising the younger children within the mine, and like the other rejected children, he vented his frustrations out by bullying the younger children. As years passed, he became quite brutal, and one night took a beating too far and ended up killing a young girl. He was exiled and forced down further into an abandoned section of the mine, where he lived off of raw young cave crabs, and in the endless darkness slowly grew convinced that he was being haunted by the dead child. He would often get possessed by the spirit and wake up surrounded by giant adult crab carcasses. After months in the darkness, he had killed the last of the crabs in a fit of blind rage, and facing starvation, he decided to escape to the surface. As he emerged, he discovered that he had radically transformed and easily fought off his adult tribesmen. Fighting his way to the center of the tribe, he demanded answers from the chief. He learned that his parents had tried to claim him, but the quota of children allowed out of the mine had already been reached for that particular year. Enraged by this, he began to savagely beat the chief, but before he could kill him, he became possessed by the spirit of the young girl, who forced him to turn and flee. He ran for many miles tirelessly, hoping to lose himself, and found himself in a distant land where he learned to use his strength and brutality to earn coin. Cleric mentions that he never answered the original question of, "How did you get that scar on your face?" Don't know. Crab, maybe. Wait, that was the original question? And that's what all this backstory came from, and it doesn't even answer the question? Oh, come on. He just wanted an opportunity to vent about his backstory and to share it with everyone. Simple story, you know, could have had a simple answer, but, you know, it was a good opportunity to tell his background to the party. Actually, like, I can imagine, you know, if the guy is just shy or something and he had that backstory like since the start and he wanted to share it, but he waited for someone to ask. He probably didn't get an opportunity better than this, and it was the perfect moment. Anyway, enough rambling from me. My players robbed an orphanage. No, I'm not kidding. Be me, Forever DM. Be players. Elf Bard, Air Genasi Rogue, and new player Gnome Druid. New player's first game in D&D ever. Enter a town called Dragonwatch late into the night. NPC they're traveling with goes to the tavern for a drink. Rogue. Let's go rob a place. Random building generator.x. I roll a 7, so they find a residence to rob. Roll once on residence table. 16. I had to mute myself and scream. The random residence was a orphanage. Send it that gif. I think it's ended that gif though. Decide to keep the orphanage thing a secret. I let them discover it through evidence. Bard sleeps through 3rd floor window. Rogue and Druid go through the front door after hopping the gate. The Bard gets a natural 1 stealth. A vase hits her on the head. The door to their left opens and the little girl asks, "Who are you?" Bard panics, casts suggestion on the orphan. "Why don't you go back to sleep?" "Okay, miss." Bard now knows it's an orphanage. Nopes the out. Rogue sneaks into the basement, lights a torch with embers from a fireplace, and comes face to face with the sleeping headmistress. Beats her passive perception, steals her dangers. Why? Okay. Beats her passive perception, steals her dentures, candelabra, and books and returns to the front door. Druid is an ant, goes to the small library, wiggles a ring off the pinky of a sleeping dwarf, and starts to get it over to the window. Rogue. Okay, so once I'm at the front gate again, I turn around. Oh no, that JPEG. Pulls out a megaphone dagger, magic item from like session 4, and shouts, "It's party time!" Everyone within 400 feet hears this. Bard simultaneously casts Shatter, blows up every window on the rear of the orphanage, probably hitting a bunch of kids with glass, and the ant druid crawls out of a broken window and tries to cross the street. Guards come running. Rogue hides on a rooftop, but the ant failed the stealth check with his big ass ring, even with advantage cause he's a ant. Guard. Ooh, shiny, that JPEG. Picks up the ring, shakes the ant off and pockets it. Here is where it goes from a situation to the apocalypse. Druid leaves wild shape, surprising the guards. Druid. I cast Cold Lightning. Lightning strikes 10 feet away from the guards, throwing them on their asses and causing the guards that caught the bard to come running. Now all of China knows you're here, that gif. Druid covers up the first Cold Lightning after stealing the ring back by doing a second Cold Lightning for the full 10 minutes as he runs away, causing the entire town to go on full panic mode since they are Dragon watching specifically for a blue dragon. Somehow the party gets away, though separated. The party didn't burn down the orphanage, but they did burn a couple of houses and cause a full town panic to cover their tracks. Total loot gain of 165 gold pieces at level 5. My party. But I love them because that was fun, which is all that matters. Also, I have one complaint, okay? How ridiculous and how did the guards manage to see an ant with a stolen ring? I mean, they didn't know the ring was stolen, right? But how did they see the... I don't know, man. That's just the most ridiculous part to me out of this. I mean, also the fact that the dice rolled and it hit the orphanage, which is unlucky. Probably the party was happy with that. But, god damn it, it's always gonna be an orphanage. I'm still confused by how they saw the ant, but we got to move on from this, okay? Alright, that was it for this video. Thank you guys for watching, I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave a like if you did and subscribe for more if you haven't already. Also, thank you to everyone supporting the channel on Patreon, I really appreciate it guys, so thank you so much for the support given there. Also, links below if you want to join the Discord server, check out the subreddit or follow me on Twitter and Instagram. And yeah, that's it, thanks again for watching and I'll see you next time. Have a great day, bye!